talked about a book in a minute. I'm currently reading Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. Now, I haven't read a Nicholas Sparks book in a long time, and honestly, I don't mind it. Now, this book, I read this book years and years and years ago, way before I became a savvy book reader, and even though, I mean, just because they're audiobooks, whatever. This one in particular, I read the book, then I watched the movie, or I think it was like vice versa, and I really enjoyed it. As we know, Safe Haven has a special place in my heart. I rated it a 5 out of 5. It takes place in a small town, so it's a small town romance. Just be warned, there is DV involved, so if that's something that triggers you, you have been warned. It's not spicy, and it does have a wild plot twist at the end. This book is 51 out of 50, and my end date was October 1st. Happy Monday, book lovers! I'm currently reading Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Alpert. I don't even know what percentage I'm in, but I've been reading it, and I started it yesterday on Sunday. Well, it's giving, like, if you read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but not like the age-wise is what I'm saying, not like the book. It's just the age-wise. This is more witchy. The other one was more detective. I'm trying to stick to it. It's not boring. I'm just giving it a go because I don't know how it's gonna end up, and I've never really given like a witchy book a reasonable time of me listening to it. I am just a really big fan of romance books, and hey, no tea, no shade, but I am. And right now, because the weather, it's like gloomy and rainy and like mysterious, it's just giving off a vibe. It's October 3rd. It's a national holiday today. It's definitely giving Halloween vibes, but I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm kind of still like iffy about it. I just like that the person, the character, but see, also this voice, I guess I'm kind of confused. Happy Tuesday, book lovers. I am 46% into the book, and I feel like now I'm kind of like, okay, it's a little bit making sense, and this is one of those first books that have witchy vibes involved, so I'm kind of like happy that I'm reading this book, just stepping my toes into it. Again, it's October, and I just want this month to be filled with spookiness, but nothing too scary where I'm just going to be freaked out and I don't want to listen to it, but also nothing creepy where I'm going to get grossed out or disgusted, because that is also not a vibe. It's kind of getting better, the book. It was being a little slow in the beginning, but just, you know, welcoming all the characters and welcoming everybody that's involved.
It was 3:30 in the afternoon, and it felt like the end of the world. Rain was still falling, and the house was as dark as if it were underwater.
My first witchy book. So I didn't end up rating it because I didn't feel like I was qualified to do so. But I will say Goodreads does rate it at a 3.86, which is a fairly good rate. Just so you know, it does have a slow start, and there are young adult characters. There is a little romance, but it's mainly witchy. So that's why I couldn't really rate it as a romance book. At first, I did get a little lost, but then the more I read it, the more I got it. And just so you know, there's multiple voices, there's not just one. And my end date for this book was October 7th. My next read is The Ex Hex by Erin Sterling.
William Morrow and Harper.
We are on our way to AC. Got my mom in the back. This is the first time I use this camera. I woke up hungover, but I'm alive now, and we just finished having breakfast. And my mom is right there. And we're going to the beach. And we're going to Hell's Kitchen tonight. I should have probably brought my makeup in right now. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I need rain boots, and I'm here at Kate Spade because I've been looking for some good rain boots, but they had me come to their fitting room, and I just needed to share this because it's so freaking cute. I feel like it's so luxurious and it's so big. These are adorable. Like, oh my god, the floor, everything about this is such a vibe. Kate Spade, I freaking love you. This is, I love it. It's Monday today. Yesterday we went to Hell's Kitchen, and let me tell you, it was good. It was a fun experience. I was totally fangirling, and I was like, I was just living my life. I didn't see who the winner is just yet. My sister called me a fake fan because I'm not willing to watch the whole season, but we're only 2 episodes in, so there's that. I did get myself some HK merch, and I'm actually wearing it right now. Look at this. Simply good. The risotto was probably the best thing I've ever tasted, aside from the beef Wellington. But I will say this beef Wellington was different from the pub's beef Wellington. It's smaller, it's more expensive, and the pub is bigger, and it's so good. I ended up getting a 3-course meal, and I got the scallops, then the beef Wellington, and then the dessert, and I was living. And the drink I got was Gordon, no, it's Notes from Gordon. Hilarious. I'll put a little clip. But would I go back? Definitely. My next read is The Ex Hex by Erin Sterling.
Lower, his hand resting on the top of the open car door as he tried to take...
My mom's in town, and I am so sad that I have to leave her so that I can go to work. So dumb. But it's 46 degrees right now, and I'm reading The Ex Hex by Erin Sterling. So far so good. I'm not gonna be down, but it's freaking cold, and yeah, let's go to work. Okay, this book is a little cute. It's not what I'm used to. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you are just getting into reading, and maybe do want to get a little bit more on the spooky side, or not even spooky side, because it's not spooky, it's more just witchy. If you're interested in that, I would say so far so good. It's 5:49 right now, and I've barely had any time to pick up my book. Okay, so The Ex Hex. It took me a few days to read this book, maybe like a week or so, but I honestly enjoyed it. It is very soft, if that makes sense. I mean, I like spicy books. What can I say? That's the truth of the reality. I enjoy them. This book was like meh, like PG-13 type stuff. Maybe a little, you know, rated R. Probably rated R because of some words that were used, but it wasn't entirely like what I enjoy. It had some bits of funny. It was giving very much like late 20s, early 30 vibes. I ended up rating it a 4 out of 5 because I probably wouldn't buy the actual book. I would still read the second book, but I just think that right now I should take a little step back. I do wish that it was a little bit spicier, but it is what it is. I do definitely recommend the book.
Dreamscape presents What If You and Me by Ronnie Lauren. Narrated by Desiree Ketchum.
Good morning. So today I'm listening to What If You and Me by Ronnie Lauren. And I feel like I've read this book, or maybe I just did like a little sample, because the beginning sounded really familiar, but right now I'm like, okay, some parts don't sound the same to me, so I don't know. So I did pack my new reading journal, and I got this at Barnes & Noble. I did already start decorating it. This is my secret copies stickers, and I have a ton more in here that I just, and pictures of my mom and I that I want to decorate with my book. So these are all, again, so cute little Polaroids. I got stickers and bookmarks and all of this good stuff that I want to put in this noodle planner of mine. The goal is not to like actually plan anything out. It's just more just me writing my actual reading experiences. This is what I chose for this month. Yes, it's a total vibe. So I absolutely love this. I've already read a few books this month, but this is for October, of course. It's already October 19th, and I've only read 2 books on my 3rd book this month. I did start reading No Show. I can't remember who the author of that book is, but let me tell you, it wasn't cute. I got maybe like a quarter into it, maybe even less, and my attention span just wasn't there. So I personally was not a fan of it. If a book can literally make me laugh out loud, it's an automatic win. I really read this book before. It's all coming back to me. I just don't remember when and why I didn't mark it. Like, I don't know what was going on.
Okay, so I came to the conclusion, yes, I read this book before. I just don't remember when I read it, but it was a good book. I ended up rating it a 5 out of 5. Although the cover is a little misleading, just know it is a grumpy romance. It's also mysterious, and the main character, she's a crime podcaster. She loves to focus on her career, which is a whole vibe. And it also does get spicy. I don't remember the chili peppers that I gave it, but I do remember it being spicy. And this was book a 54 out of 50. I honestly recommend this book, and if I could, I would buy this book.
Hachette Audio presents The Once and Future Witches. Written by Alex E. Harrow. Read by Gabber Zachman.
This is the second time that I read this book. The first time, I don't think I even got like 10% in. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. I wasn't feeling it. And this time I thought, listen, let's just listen to it. 'Tis the season of the witches. Let's read it. So I picked it up. It's not horrible. It's just, I get distracted easily. But then it gets to good parts, and then I'm like, oh, this year I learned I am a spicy kind of book girl. I'm also listening to the 12 Steps of Business by Gary Vee, and I will say I enjoy listening to his voice. And I started listening to Tom Segura's I Want to Play Alone book. It's made me laugh. It's definitely a boys book, like for sure it's a boys book. Look at this neighborhood. Oh my god. Whoa, I want to go to that water real quick. Happy Wednesday. On Wednesdays we wear pink, so I had to do it, but I already got the green light that I can go ahead and quit. Like when this video comes out, I'm already gonna be in California living my life. So I will say though, I'm excited for this road trip. I'm excited to quit my job. I'm excited to start a new experience. Today is tires day. I am finally getting all 4 tires changed, and it couldn't have come at a good time because we're gonna go do another cross-country trip in a few weeks. The book finished. I was gonna say the book finally finished. It was a good book though. Like it was a genuinely good book. It had the witchiness that I wanted. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about witchy books in general, because I mean they're not my first thing that I like to pick up and read.
Okay, so I finally finished The Once and Future Witches. It took me about a week to finish this book. I started on the 25th and it finished on the 30th. I don't feel qualified to rate these books because I still haven't read enough witchy books, but I will say Goodreads rates it at a 4.06, so it's overall a really great rating. I will say that it is slow though. It has a slow start. We do follow 3 witches and there is some romance, but mainly we're focused on these 3 witches. Overall, it's a great book. If I rated it, I would probably rate it like a 4. The ending was really capturing. It's just the beginning. It just takes a long time to really get to the good stuff, but overall great book. This was book 55 out of 50. Okay, so this month I only ended up reading 4 books, but let me tell you, I read some really good books. What If You and Me was probably my favorite book of the month. Like, go get this book and read it. Get it on Libby, get it on Audible, get it somewhere, borrow it and read it, because this was my 5 out of 5 book of the month. Book number 2, I'll probably say it's the Ex Hex, because it has romance and it has a witchy vibe, so definitely a great intro for the witchy world for me. Book 3 will be The Once and Future Witches. That was a great book. It was super long, but it still had a really beautiful point, and you know, justice comes in all different ways and they figured out a way, so here for that. And then the last book, of course, would be The Cricket Hearts. I feel like this one was kind of not all over the place, because it wasn't. It was just like, what is going on? That's how I felt, but overall it was still a great book. So I would definitely recommend any of these 4 books, but definitely What If You and Me, top number 1 of the month. And that's it for my October's video. Oh my goodness, editing that and reflecting how that month went was insane. Like, I'm so glad that my mom got to go to New Jersey one last time. Bay's family got to go. We went on all these wild adventures and saw new things, tried new places. That was a lot of fun. I learned it was like the last month I was really gonna be in New Jersey before moving to California, but things happen for a reason. Just wait for the November video, because there is more traveling internationally, cross country, more books, spending time with my family. It's gonna be a wild ride, so I will see you in that video.